Oh, hey, you're up. Oh, hey, you're up.
Hit that flying vagina or what?
Oh, hey, you're up.
You're
Oh,
gonna
hey,
die.
you're up.
Again
Hit that flying vagina or
again.
what?
Oh, hey,
and
you're
again.
up. Oh, hey, you're up.
Hit that flying vagina or what?
Oh, hey, you're up. Oh, hey, you're up.
Who's Bill Murray?
This episode contains some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, hey, you're up. I'm not sure if you remember my name or not. You were pretty wasted last night. I'm Bubbawheat, and you're listening to my podcast, It's Time to Rewind, where we are in the death days of autumn, covering the Happy Death Day movies one loop at a time. But this week I have something special for you. Joining me today is Rob Mello, who plays the serial killer John Toombs in both movies. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, brother. You gotta, I don't know, zen in, baby. Zen in. You got this. You're all over it.
Thanks. Yeah, and I'm glad to talk to you. I mean these both of these movies are really fun. And I let's you know get started at the beginning. Like how did you get involved in these movies? What was the casting process like for the first movie?
It was actually an in person. I was living in New Orleans at the time, and it was in person. Uh, just all the info I had was it's an independent horror movie, and I'm like, all right, cool, And I just it was the hospital bed scene
Hmm.
which got cut actually. It showed me killing the cop that you see, you see his body, but you don't see how. Uh, and I'm like, I'm racking my brains. I got a hold of my buddy. I'm like, dude, this is an in-person, you know, uh, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? And he's like, well, just make like the backdrop is the bed. And, all right, cool, yeah. And just I lunged at the camera and, they cut it. And about it usually takes about 2 weeks to hear anything back about callbacks, stuff like that. And I got that audition, did it on a Friday, and I always leave my agent a message. How did it go? This, that, and the other thing. I felt it went really well. Have a great weekend, and that's it. Monday morning, I get a phone call from my agent, which is always a good fucking thing when your agent calls you.
Hmm.
Because she's super busy, but she's I'll never have another agent. She's awesome, and she's like, "Hey, so you think you did good?" I was like, "Yeah, why? What?" So now all the doubt goes creeping in, and was my fly open? What did I fuck up? And she's like, "Well, you can't say anything, but they cast you. You got it." And I'm like, "Shit, that was." She's like, "Yeah, I've never seen anybody get cast that quickly. But
Nice.
but you fucking got it, dude. We'll get the dudes, which is days in, days outs. We'll get the details, and congratulations. All right, fuck yeah." It wasn't until after principal shooting that, and a matter of fact, the funny thing is, I was on the crapper both time that I got the news. I'm flipping through social media and I see Variety, and we got picked up by Universal, which means residuals, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And then about a month later, I see that we got picked up by Bloomhouse, and I just, yeah. Wife comes running in. What's the matter? I was like, yeah, baby. And I mean, bearing in mind at the time, this is on the heels of Us and a whole string of super hits from Bloom. And I was like, dude, we got picked up by Bloomhouse. She's like, fuck yeah. On a Halloween fucking release, premiere. It was awesome. Great job.
Nice. And how was the shoot? Like I know is it weird being you're kind of the villain in both movies, but you're not the villain in either movie.
I'm the red herring.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, that kind of goes to show you it's not always the one that looks the part that is the part. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I mean, shooting it was fun as hell. It was harrowing at times, but it was fun as hell, man. I fell madly in love with my future ex-wife, Ruby. And matter of fact, a couple weeks ago I just saw Jess again. She's looking well as always. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And did you spend much time in the baby face getup, or was it mostly just the the scenes where John Toombs removes his mask to reveal himself?
Well, all the hospital was me. Uh, I had to show my stunt guy. So when Babyface goes like this, that's a mannerism of mine that I stuck into Tombs, because that's what dogs do when they're trying to figure something out. They're like, "The fuck is that?" You know, and that's I do that all the time. You know, if somebody's saying something stupid, I just go like this, huh? You know, and so like how I walk and how I run, how I creep, the head, you know, I had to show him that because he had to, of course, be me. But all the hospital is me, and the bell tower as well.
Nice. And whenever the second movie was in production, was that like what was that process like? Because I know, the way the first movie ends, technically Toombs is still alive because, that he died in the fake out trailer. But then also you have the whole parallel universe. So,
Uh-huh.
which I mean, wasn't a given whenever they were making the sequel. Like, how long into the casting process of the sequel were you contacted, or or did you reach out? Like, how did that go with the sequel?
It's before production. They wanted to make sure they had me. Uh, Bloom is very superstitious. So I mean, we had the exact same cast. We had the same fucking caterer, dude. So he's very superstitious like that. Chris just wanted to shoot the damn movie. But the bitch of it was reading it and trying to mentally keep up with what the hell is going on, you know?
Yeah, I know the second one is, a really a trip. Like, how do you explain the movie to people? I mean, especially the second one, because I think the first one is pretty simple. It's, just a horror movie, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, Scream meets Groundhog and they have a baby. Part two is way more sci-fi, I'd say, and a bit more comedic. Of course, there was tons of comedy in part one.
Hmm.
And you know, when I went to go see it with my kids, I was probably the oldest dude in the whole friggin' theater. Everybody was around about my kid's age, and but all the parts that you're supposed to laugh at, they laughed. Uh, for instance, and there was one part in particular that really gave me hope for future generation, and it's when she and the subway guy. You remember the subway guy? He
Um,
turned out to be
okay,
gay,
yeah, yeah.
right? Uh, she's like, "Love is love," and you know, go get you some man meat. The fucking the theater erupted, dude, in fucking applause and shit. And I was just like, my heart fucking leapt. You know, I was just like, ah, all right, I can die without fucking, you know, a frown on my face. You know, I fucked up. I didn't contribute enough to the world. This, that, and the other thing. But like, dude, part two was a super bitch to read and keep up. Like, I usually keep notes in the margins of the script, and it looked like Jack Torrance, you know, all work and no play makes Rob a dull boy. Fucking everywhere.
Now, in the script, I guess in both scripts, is it ever clear which, like, who is behind the babyface mask in the various loops? It's always
Part
just
one or two?
either.
No. Part two, kinda. If I mean, if you read scripts for a living, uh, you know, there's foreshadowing,
Hmm.
and I mean books in general as well, but more so with scripts. But not really. But you kind of you as you're reading, you kind of start, you know, those logic puzzles. You know,
Hmm.
it's kind of like a game of Clue. You know, you remove the pieces. Eventually, it was Miss Scarlet with the fucking wrench in the dining room, kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I know in the first one, uh, some of them could be Lori, some of them could be John, and in the second one, it really confuses things because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first couple are Ryan, the double Ryan, and
yeah.
then you have Graham and then his wife and
Yeah.
also John. So there's a lot of possibilities for who could be behind the baby face mask
And
in any of the loops.
the obfuscation is part of the fun, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the point. I think Chris just likes making entertaining movies because that's the fucking point, And I guess I look like a fucking serial killer because I got Instacast. When they do local casting, like they squared away Jess, Ruby, Israel, Clay, and then everybody else was pretty much local, and I was the first one knocked out happily.
So I mean, how is that in terms of working in Hollywood to have kind of a more like villain look, or I think you even have kind of like a Western look. Like, do you worry about getting typecast, or do you kind of lean into it and go for those types of roles?
Oh, I look badass in a fucking cowboy hat, man. Which is funny because I'm from Boston. And yeah, I mean, I play Southern and Western characters. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to worry about getting pigeonholed because I don't hear Danny Trejo bitching about it, you know?
Hmm.
And no, it's just really a blessing because when I started acting in the class that I was in Florida, uh, like they were stoked about getting a call back for a local short. Never mind, a Hollywood major motion picture, full length feature, actually being in it and doing it. And And what's funny is a lot of the people that were uh, real snooty in that class. I'm sure there's snooty fuckers in every class, professional class there is. But a lot of those folks have reached out, uh, asked for my autograph, come by conventions and been like, hey man, can I get a freebie, with buddies? I was like, no. that's that's $40, Doug. This is show business. Like Kathy, our old teacher, used to say, it's not show like me, it's not show love me, it's show fucking business. So yeah, kiss my ass. Karma, baby.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize, they think anybody that they see on screen it's a millionaire, but it's just, still just the top tier Hollywood talent that makes the big bucks. And
Oh yeah.
everybody, the vast majority are just working actors.
Yep. And every time I guarantee the SAG after well, the residuals portal, I guarantee that thing gets 80 million hits a day just checking to see if checks have dropped. Because mail money is the lifeblood, baby. The more you work, the more you get.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you have any other stories about what it was like working on both movies, or like how the response was after they were released?
The response was pretty nuts. The first one I got an invite to the premiere in LA. And it's a trip because I couldn't afford to bring my wife. But I had a bunch of friends out in LA, and I was staying with one fellow by the name of Grant, incredibly talented, super awesome guy. So I crashed in his extra room, and I think I got him kicked out because I smoked on the property. I smoked a cigarette on the property. But like all the it's red carpet, it's Bloomhouse, you want some arm candy. So all the ladies I asked, these are all friends of mine and shit, and they're fucking beautiful, super talented actresses, and you'd figure they would want to be out there, if nothing else but to network and bullshit with people.
Hmm.
uh everybody had a spin class, or they were, doing their ice cream's hair or some shit. And I'm just like, I turned to Grant and I'm just like, hey, dude, you want to be my date? And he's like, fuck yeah. So I mean, it's a red carpet, free movie, uh, world class catering, open bar. Who the hell wouldn't want to go? And I just said, fuck it. Grant's my date, dude. And didn't nobody blink an eye. And yeah, it was a trip because on the way back, on the way back home, New Orleans, uh, there was a fucking hurricane coming on the day that I was supposed to land. And my wife was pissed because I'm like, baby, I don't, one, I don't like flying. And two, I'm not going to fly into a fucking hurricane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but she's like, so you're gonna let us go through a hurricane by ourselves, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm not flying into a fucking hurricane, dude. She don't hold a grudge, but it's totally understandable. But anyway, the fucking flight was grounded. I had to stay a couple extra days. But yeah, it was just a great shoot. A lot of odd shit happened in the first one, not so much the second one. Um, but just the university is Loyola in New Orleans, and just to see some of the houses, New Orleans is just beautiful with their architecture and all that. And it was just funny, when you go in for your wardrobe tests. I had two pieces. I had a a Hanes from a Hanes tracksuit from like Walmart,
Mhm.
you know, and uh and a hospital gown. And I'm like, what? That's it? Because usually there's, I mean, a rack full of options and shit like that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because with a lot of Westerns, they do period clothing.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've got like six fucking layers on, and it's New Orleans, and even in the winter time, it's fucking hot as balls. And so for like Magnificent Seven, that was shot in Baton Rouge in the summer. Hot, hot, hot as balls. We had more Black Flag days where we just went into work, took a nap, ate lunch, took a nap, left because it was so fucking hot you couldn't work legally.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I know I'm in the Atlanta suburbs, and I've been here for a few years, so
there you go.
it's hot and humid here in the summer too.
Oh God. But like New Orleans is like a bowl of water in a fucking microwave, and you hit 5 minutes and you shove your face in it real quick. That's what summer is like, dude. It's fucking hot. How the hell people did that before air conditioning, I have no idea. But let's see. Ah, when Tree in the hospital, when she snuck through the door, the double door,
Mhm.
uh, we shot that in the old LSU teaching hospital downtown New Orleans on Canal Street, and it's abandoned. Well, whatever, it's fucking abandoned. But that's a big industrial metal double door. So we get, I run and I chase her, and we get up to the shot, the closer, the medium shot.
Mhm.
And Chris is like, all right, dude, this is stupid simple. All the cameras, everybody's on the other side. She's going to sneak through because she's skinny as fuck. You can't quite make it, so you bitch, I'm going to get you kind of stuff. And then step back, give the door two good boots, and then freeze. And then we'll replace the chain with a breakaway, kick the door open, run past the camera, done. Stupid simple, right?
Yeah.
You would think. I told Chris, I was like, dude, I'm a Marine. He's like, what the fuck does that mean? That means you know how to kick a door in. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You sure you want me to give it, the old heave ho? He's like, fuck yeah. All right. We get going. I give it one boot. I give it two boots. The second boot, the entire fucking frame, doors included, uh, started going timber towards not towards me, but towards the fucking camera, towards Jess, and Ari Alexas, which is what we shot with, was they're $250,000 each. And there was two of them. our director of photography, fucking everybody was over there, and I'm just here like I can't stop this. So it's just like was the Christmas Story, when he was changing the tire with his dad,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, fuck." That was me, dude. I was just like, "Oh, fuck." Boom! It didn't hit. It didn't. They didn't hit nobody. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got nothing got broken. But I'm just like, that just fucking happened, and like the look on everybody's faces was the same, as mine. I'm just like,
Yeah, that
wow.
reminds me of did you hear about the story about The Shining with Jack Nicholson whenever he was doing the axe through the door that they initially had balsa wood doors, but he would break through them so quickly because he was a firefighter whenever he was younger. So they had to,
Are you swinging that shit?
yeah, so they had to eventually had to use like a real full wood door that he
Yeah,
went through.
yeah, yeah. Which I mean, it was a legitimate hospital. You see industrial double doors wherever you go.
Mhm.
Like in government buildings and whatnot. I kicked one fucking off its frames, and I'm 6 feet a buck 80. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I didn't expect that, but of course, the funny part is props got shit for it, boy. All you heard was props. What the fuck? I'm like, dude, there's no way props could fucking like predict my ass was gonna kick these doors in. Sometimes props getting hell is warranted. Coughing and rust. Sometimes it's not.
And then are you a fan of time loop movies in general or and just like general mindfuck movies? Like do you have any favorites?
Uh, there's not so many of them, it's an interesting thought. I like My wife is into like schlock horror,
Mhm.
grindhouse shit. The more boobs and blood, the better. That's her. That's not me. That's fucking garbage in my mind. I like spiritual and more suspenseful, intellectual thrillers, kind of like Silence of the Lambs kind of thing,
Mhm.
or The Exorcist. I love that shit. Stigmata, I fucking love it. Which I don't know. I guess that's not really a horror movie, but yeah, there's not a lot of time loop movies around. Groundhog Day, of course.
Well, at least
Ours.
not any big ones. I mean, I my podcast is this is a time loop podcast, and whenever you start digging, you'd be surprised how many of them are out there.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, at the same time, there's with that one with Nick Cage, right?
I think so.
Well,
I
that's more It's a Wonderful Life kind of thing, huh?
oh yeah, The Family Man.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with titles and names and shit. Names especially. I can tell you
Uh,
what somebody looks like.
and then is there anything else that you're working on now or coming out soon that's that you want to talk about?
I'm working on. I'm kind of steering away from being in front and kind of steering towards more. What I always wanted to do was write. I'm a hell of a writer. When it hits you. I'm just a creative in general. Like I paint. I've got a set of drums. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Guitar. Da, 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 da. But what I've always loved to do is write because it affords you the ability to transport people, irrespective of where they are or what how their day is gone, uh, to your world and how you see it. So, like me, using your five senses.
Mhm.
Me, even though I smoke cigarettes, my sniffer is on point. Like there's been a few times we live in a bit of an older house. There's been a couple times where uh, I've saved our lives because I smelled an electricity issue in the wall. You know,
Mhm.
smells like something's burning. That's plastic. It's over here. Like a
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
blood.
I work with electronics on my day job. I definitely recognize those smells.
Right, that smell, right, right. And so that's how smells and music is how I can like instantly get somewhere in my life as an actor. So using that, I can really it really helps writing. I'm working on a script that is autobiographical, and I wanted to because I've lived a hell of a life. A flicker of my life, and but it to me is the epitome of arrogance if you write an autobiography, unless your name's like Winston fucking Churchill or Norman Schwarzkopf. It's arrogant as fuck. So a different way in is to write a film, write a script. So I'm working on that with a local friend. I'm more into the indie film scene,
Hmm.
kind of steering clear of the production houses and stuff like that. And I live in rural ass Indiana, and so there's tons of filmmakers everywhere. Uh, but just helping them folks out, sharing experience and knowledge and stuff, like how to construct an actual script, professionally. Da, 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 da. For instance, the lady I'm writing with, her name's Heidi, and collaborating with someone on a writing piece is a bit of a bitch. You got to really set deadlines, but she didn't, one of her earliest scripts, she didn't know how to write how an interrupt occurs. So, like, all right, talk to me, say a sentence.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Anyway, that's an interrupt, right?
Yeah.
So it would be your name. Hello, how are you doing? Dot, dot, dot. My name, parentheses, int, interrupt. And then my line, right? So
Mhm.
me as the actor, I would be like two words before the dot, dot, dot. That's when I hit you with the interrupt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The point is, so for you to not get out whatever the hell it is you're saying, and it's just technical shit. But on the actor end, it makes a world of fucking difference. You know what I mean? Instead of the way I think she was saying it or typing it rather. Just stuff like that. I'm doing a lot of set coaching as of late because actors actors speak a totally different language. Like my son is a musician, and we were making a song last night, and I didn't know how to. Okay, on the third beat of the fourth measure, give me a fucking D and then bend it, that kind of stuff. I was just like, wait, stop right there, and then what? Can you do da 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 da? Oh yeah, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
can't speak musician, which sucks because I'd love to, but I can speak actor, and that's what I've gotten into lately is just offering, just dude, I don't mind the pizza, get me gas money, and if I'm overnight, put me up. But just making sure the actors, most of which are not professionally trained, they're trained but
Mhm.
not like professional trained. Like if they were to go out to LA, Atlanta, New York, they would fucking disappear.
Yeah.
They and that sucks because the area I'm in, it's chock full of tons of fucking talent, but they're either so busy with booking indie projects and stuff that they forget training, and education is the key to any fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like for instance, uh, as an actor, you take a fucking weekend symposium or whatever, and then you figure you're ready for LA. Okay, cool. Uh, so you, Nate, if I took a weekend symposium on brain surgery, would you allow me to crack your cranium and fuck around in your head?
No, absolutely not.
No, hell no. And so these people aren't going to pay you $250,000 because you spent a weekend with fucking so and so. Doesn't matter if it's De Niro or it doesn't matter. You got to have the training, you got to have the skills, and that's kind of what I gotta take what they have and bridge the gap between what they have, what they're doing, and what the director wants. Because a lot of directors don't know how to speak actor. They don't know how to impart how they want something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I
it's
can imagine.
oh God, it's fucking horrible. But it's cool because it's a teaching moment on both ends. You know what I mean? For the
Mhm.
director and the actor. And, we all get together and we go through the script. And, okay, well, this, of course, you go to the actor first. All right, what are you feeling about this? Da, 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 da. What's your process? And if they're like, I'm mad, I'm instantly like, oh, fuck. This person this person went to a weekend symposium. And ladies, if you're listening, uh, don't cheapen yourself. If you're okay with flashing your boobs or booty scenes, that's fine. Do not make sure all uh, safety protocols are in place. Do not get taken advantage of because there are dudes out there, and I swear to God, that will just say they're casting a film, nudity required, no pay, you'll get fucking publicity, IMDb credit, which doesn't really mean shit. And catering, which amounts to Little Caesars. If you flash me your tits, basically. And some of the horror stories I've heard, dude, it would turn your fucking stomach, man.
Yeah, it
So,
wouldn't surprise me.
ladies, if it seems too good to be true, it is. If it's Unless it's Game of Thrones Part 2 or whatever, or if you don't mind, my wife doesn't mind flashing her tits. Because like I said earlier, the more boobs, the more blood. She's into it. But I mean, if you want your hands and feet outside of man's Chinese theater, that's generally not the way to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was a real pleasure talking with you.
Absolutely, brother.
Is there anything else that you wanted to say before I let you go?
I mean, we could go for fucking hours. Let's make another date then,
All right. Sounds
and we'll
good.
continue from there.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining me, and for the listeners at home, we have a Facebook group. It's Time to Rewind, a time loop group. You can join that to discuss my episodes as they come out and be aware of what's coming up in the future. And you can follow me on all social medias where I'm at Bubbawheat. I'm most active these days on Threads, but anywhere I've kind of staked my claim. And until next time,
No, real nice surprise. You coming to visit me like this?